Hey everybody, so I just got done watching The Mandalorian Chapter 10, and this is my full review of that episode, and yes, this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen Chapter 10 just yet, you've been warned, and let's dive into the review. So this episode started off really funny and ended up turning into some type of horror movie with some freaky moments, and even though it felt like a filler episode, it had some incredible scenes, from the X-Wing chase scene to the crash sequence, all the way up to the scary spiders that almost killed Mando and his crew. And oh, we could not forget about the constant funny moments from the child throughout the episode. I mean, I was yelling at my TV screen constantly, shouting at Baby Yoda to stop eating those eggs. And there's like an entire species at risk here, and Baby Yoda is munching on them like they're chicky nuggies. It was hilarious. It was so funny. And one thing that I did want to get out of the way is that no, unfortunately, we did not get to see Boba Fett return in this episode, or at least who we think is Boba Fett. And honestly, I was not surprised about this at all. They're going to tease us and make us wait for his return, and I can't wait for that moment. But let me know, when do you think we'll see Boba Fett return? And now, back onto the beginning of the episode. So I have to mention that the episode started off with a really cool action sequence that ended with a hilarious moment that made me burst out laughing when Mando used his own jetpack against the alien that was trying to steal it from him. This was a hilarious moment, and when the scene was unfolding, I was like, there's no way Mando is going to let this dude run off with his jetpack, and Mando certainly did not let that happen. And I'm thrilled to see that Disney is not afraid to inject this type of humor into The Mandalorian. You know, we have a serious character that we're dealing with here, but they're not afraid to put that humor in there to really lighten it up, and they do a good job with it. Then we move on to the scene where Mando gets information on how to find more Mandalorians from, get this, a large ant. And this ant reminded me so much of the big baby ant from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Anybody remember Auntie from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? If so, leave a comment down below. And I did find it kind of funny how Mando just randomly stumbles upon this kind of information. You know, you'd think it'd be much more difficult for him to find this info, but I guess it's a small galaxy after all. So Mando then meets up with a frog-like alien that the ant gets him in contact with, and this frog-looking creature knows where other Mandalorians are located, and this contact also needs safe passage to the moon of Trask since she is carrying precious cargo, her eggs. But Mando has to travel sublight to protect these eggs, which means no hyperdrive, making the trip that much more dangerous. And I wouldn't be surprised if the dangers of sublight travel play into the story in future episodes, but the real danger to the eggs in this episode isn't sublight travel, it's the child. And every time the child ate an egg, I was literally bursting out laughing. This episode was hilarious from the beginning to the very end, and it's like these eggs were candy to the child. He just couldn't get enough of them, and I was just like, please stop eating them. You're destroying an entire alien race here. And if anyone knows just how many eggs the child ate in this episode, be sure to leave a comment below. I'd love to know. And the part with the X-Wings was just freaking awesome. And it was great seeing Dave Filoni return once again for yet another on-screen cameo. And a fun little tidbit about Dave's character, his character's name is actually Trapper Wolf, which isn't surprising considering Dave's love for wolves. So I thought that was a really cool connection. And after a brief squabble between Mando and the X-Wing Pilots, we then get to see a really cool chase scene ensue. And this was definitely movie quality stuff here. I was blown away by this. And the crash sequence that followed was also AAA high budget stuff as well. It seriously felt like I was watching a Star Wars movie in the theater. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm all about big action sequences like this just as much as I am about story. So I really hope they continue to put these big action sequences into every season, because there's no way around it. They just look awesome, and they're certainly memorable. And throughout the episode, I noticed some new noises being emitted from the child. So does this mean that we could be getting closer and closer to him speaking his first words? And if so, what do you think his first word will be? Let me know in the comments. Leave a comment. What do you think Baby Yoda's or the child's first word is going to be? And we also got to see a new force power from the child as well. Well, not really a force power, but the child really used his sense of smell in this episode, and he stumbled upon some spider eggs only to eat one, which was rather disgusting. Like, I mean, he kept on eating everything in this episode, and the part where he ate the spider egg in particular really grossed me out. And this episode not only showed how hungry Baby Yoda is all the time, but just how bad Mando is at watching him, because what happens next was out of a horror movie, and I think if Mando would have been paying a little bit more attention to what Baby Yoda was doing, it might have been avoided. So the spiders that come out of the eggs next were absolutely disgusting, and when the big mama spider was revealed, I was having flashbacks to facing spiders in Jedi Fallen Order. I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. So it genuinely gave me the creeps, and yet again it reminded me of a big budget movie reserved only for the big screen theater experience. So again, I really hope they keep doing this every season. And I also like how the Mandalorian isn't afraid to show how Mando's enemies aren't just human or alien species, but random creatures lurking in dark places. I think that's really cool. And this whole spider sequence also showed how important Mando's arsenal of different weapons are. He used his pistol, bombs, and flamethrower, and he still needed help from the X-Wing pilots who returned to help him. So, you know, it just goes to show that even with all of those weapons, Mando can find himself in a vulnerable place. And again, the show is not afraid to show that. And the X-Wing pilots that came back, you know, to rescue him, they saw that Mando was here to do more good than harm. But I found it strange how these X-Wing pilots were willing to help with the spiders, but then just leave without aiding him any further. I found that really odd. It felt rushed, and I felt like they should have stayed to help him at least repair his hull and get to know him a little bit better and understand what he's going through in his situation and why he's there. It was kind of weird that they didn't investigate it a little bit more, you know, because he was still in a pretty bad situation, stranded there. So again, I found it a little bit odd how they just left so quickly. And at the end, we are left with a scene of the child eating yet another egg. And seriously, I was bursting out laughing when this happened again. I did not expect him to have another egg in his hands and then just eat it like that so casually. It's just a hilarious moment, and this is definitely going to become a meme. Like, I can already tell this is going to become a meme all over the internet. So a really funny episode for sure. Probably one of the most funny episodes of the entire series so far. But let me know, what did you think of the episode? Did you enjoy it like I did? I really thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I know it was more of like a filler episode. It didn't really move the story forward, but my goodness, it had some amazing, memorable scenes in this episode for sure. But I will see you guys for the next video. If you are new to the channel, by the way, click on that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of more upcoming videos. And until next time, may the Force be with you, always.